Belmont Park, the flex space buildings in the M1 light industrial zoning. Focusing on the M1 light industrial area of nearly 60 acres. This area includes 4 flex buildings with a total square footage of 590,000 and 5 acres of proffered recreation space. It is important to note that the revenue of $1.6 million on average over a 30-year period of time only occurs with full build-out.
Oh, do you know when full build out's going to be? I know you know a Dewey Pile, but are you guys going to build those other buildings with specs?
No, I don't think there's a plan to build spec. I think we're just waiting for users. But typically, a project of this nature, close to 1 million square feet, you're probably looking at anywhere 5 years plus if we started today. So maybe 8 years because we have the users for the other sites.
Are you guys going to grade this site all at once? This 130 something acres.
I think the plan is just to grade as we develop, right? So we'll do the A. Dewey Powell site first, and then we'll move to the other.
Note, the A. Dewey Pile site is the large truck freight terminal or distribution center on M2's property.
Can we get some sort of language in there? And like I live in North Stafford, we see a quiet town center every day. Or Austin Ridge Road, where they cut all the trees down and we're just stuck with this bare piece of property. Is there any way that we could put that in there to where at least when it's not under construction or you don't have somebody to use it, you can keep it with some trees?
I mean, again, we can have a proffer that says we'll clear pursuant to the concept plan as we develop the site. I mean, again, it would be silly for us to clear the entire site with no user, because we've got to maintain stormwater management, we've got to have erosion controls, we've got to pay bonds. I mean, it just doesn't happen. But we're happy to. I don't think you have an issue with. We're good with that.
I mean, I've heard some crazy things, and I look at Austin Ridge Road every day. They graded it, and nothing's gone on the site. And since I was on the board, so.
No, there has to be some flexibility to extend utilities and those kind of things, and put roads in, but. You don't clear a site of this size at one time without users.
So if we were going to go down that path, we would probably need to have some additional language to add to the most current version of Proffers. Is that something you guys can work on quickly, like in the next 5 minutes?
Despite the conversation and intent to not clear the site, nor construct buildings until tenants or users were confirmed, there is no proffer language that prohibits the applicant from beginning clearing or construction other than after simply obtaining site plan approval. Full build-out occurs if and when all buildings are occupied with tenants. Proffer 8E identifies that the applicant will not clear the entire project area until it commences to obtain applicable site plan approval. Question: will applicable site plan approval be granted, land cleared, and construction begun before the applicant has received signed commitments from potential occupants for the flex buildings? Vacant buildings will mean loss of business personal property tax, sales tax, etc. The Belmont plan includes 590,000 square feet of new flex space buildings, despite existing vacant buildings in the region. These located along International Parkway. The developer's website identifies the advertisements for new tenants to occupy their spaces, and that only one company, A. Dewey Pile, has made a commitment to the M2 zoned area. Tax revenue at the M1 zoning at full build-out will be $1,618,618. That amount is 147% more than the M2 revenue, $1,099,654, and remember, only at full build-out. Even if fully constructed, occupied, and providing full revenue, $1.6 million for the M1 zone is 1/6 of 1% of the total county budget. To summarize, there is no guarantee that the flex spaces on the M1 property will be fully built out, or if constructed, be occupied and provide revenue. To provide almost 60 strategic acres for M1 property and likely see little revenue provided is not a benefit to the county's citizens.